Quite a bit of rain and storms, but as expected, we saw some of the more significant weather happening down into the southern part of Alabama today. In fact, we take you to this story showing you some of those impacts in areas over South Alabama.
Tornado sirens heard by many WSFA 12 News viewers today. This one captured in Troy. That storm brought heavy rain, strong winds, and hail, as seen in this video captured by Chase Carey. From Troy to Goshen, Georgiana, and Wetumpka, several viewers submitted videos and pictures of hail falling in their communities. In Elmore County, so much hail dropped it covered surfaces.
Lots of hail reports earlier today in parts of Marengo County. We actually had some golf ball size hailstones and some big lightning producers. Hopefully we'll get some better rest tonight. I don't see any major risk for storms, at least for our area in central Alabama. Now, South Alabama still dealing with some storms at the moment. As we go over to First Alert AccuTrack, I want to show you the forecast here for this evening. Notice that around here, very mild conditions, and with all the rain we had, over 2 inches in some spots, we could have some dense fog in a few spots out there later on tonight, so be watching out for that. Maybe a couple of showers after midnight and in the morning for parts of East Alabama, but you can see that rain chance right by 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. The chance for storms starts to really ramp up. We'll catch some breaks during the morning, but we've got a strong cold front on the way, and that's going to bring that chance for stormy weather into tomorrow afternoon, and another risk for strong to severe storms. Yes, severe storms possible. We've been giving you that first alert for tomorrow. Still thinking roughly lunchtime. We need to start watching the weather closely. Check that weather app, and through 9 o'clock. And 9 o'clock, we're talking moving out of far eastern areas. So for a lot of places, I think Birmingham to Coleman, even into Shelby County, by the time we get to 7 o'clock, areas along and west of 65, this risk certainly over, but far east Alabama, we'll continue to watch it. So what are we talking here? It's a little bit of a different setup. We're going to see scattered storms developing. Some of those could grow severe with damaging winds. I think one of the big concerns is going to be some large hail with this. And when we look at the wind fields with this particular setup, not a great deal of directional wind shear with this particular setup as much as speed shear. So when we're talking about those different wind shear parameters, the risk for a tornado, it's there, can't rule that out. But I do think the straight line wind risk is far greater in addition to that risk for some large hail. We'll watch for possibility of a tornado. Certainly don't let your guard down tomorrow. Check in with us for frequent updates throughout the day on WBRC Fox 6. As we look at things again right now, very calm conditions, and just as we expected, the weather really settling down after those storms moved out. You can see where the storms have kind of painted the most active weather zone. You can see the severe weather reports, those ground observations, and those are the tornado reports back across central Georgia and then back into parts of the Carolinas where several active tornado warnings are still underway across parts of the East Coast there. And looking at the forecast radar tonight, again, you get the picture here. The model data doesn't show a lot of wet weather, but this is that front right here, and that's the leading edge of the cooler air, and showing 7 o'clock in the morning. Again, maybe some fog, a couple of showers around early in the day, and then as that front moves further south, still looks like in the morning or by 10 o'clock, a little bit of a lull in the activity, but it won't take long. When it starts popping later on around 1 to 2 o'clock, any one of these individual storms, especially these to the south, this little prefrontal trough, as we call it, that may form here to the south. Those are the ones we'll really have to pay close attention to with respect to a risk of isolated tornadoes and damaging winds, but that risk for some large hail. And then it looks like by 6 to 8 o'clock, as that cooler air moves on in, this is the front. Notice 8 o'clock, severe threat, according to this model, is over for Birmingham, Coleman, Blount County, anywhere along and head of this line, which would include these far southeastern and eastern counties. That's where that greatest severe risk will be from 7 to 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Again, some damaging winds. Could be some hail producers there as that line moves on through. And after that, some big time improvements. Noticeably cooler into Thursday morning. We'll have temperatures tumbling into the 40s. And it looks like for Thursday, the temperatures there early in the day in the 40s by Friday and Saturday. You're going to notice that big drop in temperatures. We set into an unseasonably cool pattern later on this week. As we get into the weekend, could be some frost around early Saturday Saturday, early Sunday morning. That's something we're going to talk about, one of the next big things coming up in the 7-day forecast. But here's what's ahead on the show. We're going to check in on the beach forecast. And speaking of cold weather, could see some snow in the mountains this weekend. We'll show you that and more on the 7-day as we check out the setup for next week. Can have some storms. We'll take you beyond the 7-day. That's all coming up. Stay with us. The next big thing gives you a heads up days ahead of the next big storm system. The next 24 gives you the most accurate and updated look at tomorrow. And the next 60 gives you a 60-minute advantage against Mother Nature. Knowing what's next, days, hours, or minutes away, this is why we First Alert.
When we declare First Alert Weather Day, it's all hands on deck. We're on your side and in your hand with the First Alert Weather app. While Wes and the rest of the team track changes moment to moment, the app keeps you prepared and safe with video and alerts for your neighborhood. And if the power goes out, no worries, you can stream us anywhere. It's easy and it's always on. Stay ahead of Alabama weather. Just scan and tap and have the First Alert Weather app. This is why we First Alert.
On Good Day Alabama, we treat severe weather with the highest priority. It's more than just meteorologists. Everyone plays a part. Having more reporters in more places takes you beyond the First Alert, showing you the impact that we see on radar. We're live in your neighborhood when you need us, on air, online, and on the app. That's the advantage of having the most reporters on your side. That's the advantage of Good Day Alabama.
Our lives revolve around planning for what's next, like the next ball game.
One hot dog with ketchup? It's the same with weather. That's why we're on your side with the next big thing, the next 60, and the next 24. Knowing what's next, days, hours, or minutes away.
This is why we First Alert. Who puts ketchup on a hot dog?
Getting live breaking news and local updates has never been easier. That's because we're on your side with the WBRC streaming app. Need updates between newscasts? You can catch up quick here. And when we're live on TV, we're live here too. Just search WBRC on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. WBRC Fox 6 News is on your side.
All right, been watching some of these additional showers and storms. We're zoomed into South Alabama. There's Wilcox County. You can see there's some pop-ups. We had a lot of active weather here earlier in the day. Perhaps you were watching my buddy Josh Johnson with our sister station WSFA in here tracking a lot of that severe weather. Looks like around Fort Deposit, a pop-up. But what we're seeing right now across South Alabama certainly behaving. Looks like it had a strong storm near Eufaula, big lightning producer. That's now pushed on over into Georgia. But if you are going to be traveling, let's check in with Mickey right now, get an update on that beach forecast.
All right, Mickey, it's been pretty active this morning, tracking heavy rainfall, even some severe storms in South Alabama. I'm just kind of tired and ready for a vacation.
You're about to take a vacation.
I know. Not to the beach, but I wouldn't mind going to the beach. But here's some of the video of what's going on at Gulf Shores earlier this morning.
Yeah, this morning we saw lots of wind in there, and you could see the surf looks not too inviting, and we've got some pretty dangerous surf over the next few days. We had a kid, last week, I think, had swum out, and they had trouble finding him. I think he was deceased, but a lot of these people don't know the flags, and you can they're available to you on the Gulf Shores website where you can look at the flags. But if you have a red flag warning, don't go in the water. Double red flag, it's actually illegal to go in the water because you endanger those that could rescue you.
Well, now's the time you really don't want to go in the water either.
A little cold.
It's a little chilly out there. Normally the water temperature is a little bit more on the comfortable side by the time we go into the summer months. Of course, temperatures right now in the lower 70s, so that's pretty chilly right there. But we do have a high rip current threat tomorrow going into Thursday, and it starts to drop off a little bit as we go into the weekend. And the main reason, we have all this unsettled weather that's been rolling through parts of the southeast.
Yeah, so we get into the weekend, things actually look pretty darn good. If we get into that extended forecast, you can see things look pretty nice as we get into the next few days. You can see 70 degrees on Thursday and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A little bit cooler now. We had overnight lows in the 50s and highs in the 60s. Still a little bit windy down there at the beach. I know when you go to put an umbrella in, 14-mile-an-hour winds with gusts higher than that. You know, they've had those umbrellas you can screw down into the sand.
Yeah.
Those actually work a little bit better with high winds because it grips the sand a little bit better. But anyway, the weather's cooperating nicely as we get into the weekend down at the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, but I'm thinking upper 60s with a pretty cold breeze. Yeah, it might be a little chilly, but at least there's some sunshine.
Yeah, and you rarely think about taking your windbreaker or a jacket to the beach, but
you know what? It's the beach.
Yeah.
So let's enjoy it.
yeah.
All right, well, that was a look at the beach forecast. How about the mountains? And we're talking about the chance for a little bit of snow. We're going to talk about the mountain forecast. There is a little bit showing up on the model data. So if you're one that misses the white stuff, you might want to plan a trip to the mountains. I'm just saying. So as we get into Friday morning, you see a little bit of the green and the blue. So hints at maybe some wet snowflakes. Now, as we get late in the evening hours on Friday, the mountains all of a sudden start to see more snow developing, especially on Saturday morning. Seeing a lot more blue on the map there. And as we go into Saturday afternoon, still a chance for some snow to come down in the mountains, the Smoky Mountains, even maybe north portions of Georgia. Otherwise, again, most places won't be seeing any of the wintry precipitation, but still winter isn't over. This is the GFS model just showing you how much snow could accumulate if this model were accurate. And we are just giving you a rough idea that, you know, you're talking maybe several inches at the highest elevation. So again, snow lovers may be excited about this. Could be some beautiful pictures, certainly, of those snow-topped mountains in the distance. But when you're talking about, you know, Gatlinburg, for example, maybe a little tougher to get some snow, but it's not out of the question, especially early in the morning hours on Saturday when you have those temperatures flirting with the freezing mark. But certainly some showers in the forecast Saturday. May not be snow unless you go higher up in elevation. But again, before then, we have heavy rain, and that will be moving through the Friday time frame. Otherwise, Sunday is looking great if you're going to be heading up to the mountains. Wes?
All right, Jill, still a little bit of snow in that forecast, and with that kind of cool weather on the way, we got a system that's bringing some big changes, and that's one of the reasons why tomorrow we have that risk for storms ramping up. I mean, we're going to be in the 80s across parts of the area tomorrow as winter tries to hang on, some more cooler weather on the way. We'll talk about those impacts, where to expect that greatest severe weather risk, and break it all down for you, timing and more after the break. Stay with us. You're watching WBRC First Alert Weather Extra.
Every morning on Good Day Alabama, we know the news that matters the most to you is the news that hits closest to home.
And we know that to tell the best story means going to where the story is. That's why having more reporters in more places is so essential.
Giving you more local stories that impact your family, your school, and your safety.
On air, online, and on the app. That's the advantage of having the most reporters on your side. That's the advantage of Good Day Alabama.
I hear from people all the time with questions about healthcare, their insurance, and the safety of certain treatments. I'm Morgan Hightower, and I investigate these stories because if I were being taken advantage of, or if my family couldn't get the help they needed, I would want to know how to take action. That's why WBRC Fox 6 News investigates. We're on your side, getting answers, keeping you informed and safe. Contact us when you need a team on your side.
Get pinpoint locations down to your street level on the First Alert Weather app. You can download by searching WBRC in your app store. That's accuracy you can plan on.
I hear from people all the time having problems with their landlord or worried about being ripped off by a bad business. I'm Josh Gann, and I investigate stories like these because if I had questions about protecting my finances or how to save more money, I would want the best advice available. That's why WBRC Fox 6 News investigates. We're on your side getting answers, keeping you informed and safe. Contact us when you need a team on your side.
Get First Alert weather and breaking news. Follow us on Twitter. Search at WBRC News.
Get First Alert weather and breaking news. Follow us on Facebook. Search at WBRC News.
Well, what a lightning show this morning across the area. This is some cloud-to-cloud lightning. Terry Turner shared this photo over Birmingham. We had those loud rumbles. A lot of those storms that moved through early in the day, as we talked about yesterday, they weren't necessarily surface-based. We had a warm front that was moving through the area. And, you know, we see something like this a lot once we get into May, these clusters of storms that move in, and they can put on quite a lightning show. Look at that. The lightning branching out there. Quite a strike that was captured over Coleman. Jonathan sharing that, and see that sky. Typically, if it was daytime, you looked at some of those clouds, you get what we call undulatus clouds, asperatus. They have like a wavy texture, very unique looking cloud cover when you see those kind of MCS is what we call them, mesoscale convective systems, those kind of setups. As that moved on through, we had the breaks in the clouds. You can see some clouds in the low levels, and those moved in during the day. An incredible time lapse here from our tower here on Red Mountain in Birmingham, Alabama. 72 degrees. That is the temperature at the time of this update here on First Alert Weather Extra. So let's get into it tonight. For the most part, not too worried about any severe weather for us. Now, there could be a couple storms across South Alabama. Notice the Storm Prediction Center has us in a enhanced risk. Now, that's from their earlier update today. Looking at this, I'm seeing the greatest risk in areas east and south as the temperatures rise tomorrow. Certainly, you know, we'll need to watch those areas further north. There could be a pop-up storm. I can't rule that out, but the biggest concern will be as those storms start to develop there later in the day. This is a look at the forecast data for the overnight hours, and you don't see a lot of rain, maybe a couple showers in some locations to the east and southeast. I think one of the more big impacts out of this, the big impact is going to be the fog possibility in the morning with all the rain we've had. Very muggy conditions. Look at this. We're in the 60s tomorrow morning. You won't need that jacket early on. It's going to feel warm out there. And that's the thing, is it's still kind of warm. It's soupy. The temperatures rise. We've got the instability. It's going to be there tomorrow. As these temperatures rise into the 80s, the storms, notice by 2 o'clock, they start to pop up. We get these cells that develop, and there could be some hail cores with these. And I think that's one of the big impacts here, damaging straight line winds, maybe some hail cores. Notice we have this clustering to the south, and we're looking at some of the high resolution data. Now, again, this is model data. We know the instability is there. We've got to watch it, but what I'm seeing here favors the greatest chance in areas to the south, and maybe a couple of pop-ups here as a cold front moves in. As that moves on further south, you can see how maybe some more storms line up. There's some question marks there. We got some dry air that's trying to move in the upper reaches of the atmosphere, and that's one of the things that's going to contribute to maybe some big hail producers. Also, the wind direction becomes a little bit more uniform, and as that happens, that's what leads to this being a big, if we have any damaging wind gusts, more of a straight line wind risk with this. Although you can never rule out an isolated tornado. Certainly with a system like this, we need to keep that in mind and need to be weather ready just in case we have a warning. But this is kind of hit or miss. These storms and showers, this won't be a huge complex of storms like what we saw to start today. I don't expect 12 tornado warnings tomorrow. It's one of those situations. This is going to be kind of scattered, strong storms that develop, and then tomorrow night this moves on through. So there's a look at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, and by that point, all the severe weather, at least according to this, is exiting far eastern Chambers County and Randolph County, places like that over into far eastern Alabama. Could be a few leftover showers, but when those temperatures start tumbling and that wind shifts around wherever you are, severe threat over. That means a cooler, stable air is settling in. And you'll notice 6 o'clock Thursday morning, 39 in Hamilton, 45 here at Alabaster in Shelby County, so noticeably cooler. But we will have some sunshine on Thursday, so that's going to help us out with those cooler temperatures. But as we look at the lightning forecast tomorrow, you can see the latest lightning forecast data, and this is based off of high-resolution imagery here. You can see the lightning looks most frequent or most pronounced in areas south of Interstate 20, at least this model in particular. This is a different data set we're looking at. This is from our 3-kilometer in-house model, and it also favors those southern areas. So I'm seeing a lot of data, and just based on my experience with situations like this where we see redevelopment the next day, we see that a lot in locations to the south and east. So I'm just giving you that first alert. That's the way it looks to us right now. The hail risk with this. Again, that's one of my big concerns for late tomorrow. I'll probably see a lot of photos. Had a couple of photos earlier today from places like Marengo County, and you can see there 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Ashland and back towards Clanton. You know, this is one of those days, if you've been needing to get out, maybe move the lawnmower, move the pressure washer to get your car in the carport, may want to do that tonight just to protect the car, because we could have some big hail producers. Even shows that possibility right there around Jefferson County and also into Tuscaloosa County. So we have that system that's going to be impacting the area. Then these cooler temperatures coming back for Saturday and into Sunday morning, lows in the 30s. A big upper level trough in place later this week that's going to allow those clouds to dig in here. I think Friday and Saturday, I know we got the Strawberry Festival, we got the scrimmage games, UAB spring game, Auburn. Saturday, it's going to be chilly. Plan for that. You'll need the long sleeves. We have a high of 60, but clouds may keep those temperatures in the 50s and then some cold starts. So a big drop in temperature. Jill, that cool weather trying to hang on. I was watching next week, looking at next Wednesday and seeing the possibility of maybe some more stormy weather.
I know, it's like a broken record right now, and it seems like every 7 days or so we have to keep our eye out for another storm system. So this will be the next big thing after tomorrow that we'll be watching in terms of that chance for showers and thunderstorms. So again, we're looking at around the 13th and the 14th, thunderstorms rolling on through and exiting by next Thursday. Indication maybe another flare-up of rain and storms as we head into the 15th, which is a Friday. New data, if you're watching yesterday, new data coming in today showing now dry weather for Easter. So let's hope that part of the forecast continues to pan on out. And as we continue to look beyond the 7-day, we get to the 19th, and there's some indication of some thunderstorm development. Again, that's just a ways out. I think about, getting to the day 8, 9, 10, not so bad with the data. Beyond that, it's a little bit iffy. Now, let's see how things are lining up in terms of instability and wind shear with that event that's possible for the 13th. So we certainly see some instability. Those are the brighter colors of green and some yellow in there. We definitely have a wind shift going through. Some of the upper level winds, though, don't seem to match up, so that could mean maybe a lower severe threat. We hope for that. Certainly some thunderstorms in the forecast, and then another chance for thunderstorms around the 15th. Again, I'm not seeing everything matching up and aligning, so hopefully that's some good news for us. But again, we'll keep you posted, because as we get closer, of course, that information gets better and better. So again, we are focused on tomorrow, that threat for storms, as Wes was saying, anytime after 12 o'clock, just pay attention to the weather. I'll be tracking whatever is forming live on the news tomorrow from 12 to 1. So Wes, we're just keeping a watch on that, and then frost by the weekend. It's crazy.
There you go. And that's the thing. What lines up? What makes sense when we look at some of that long-range data? Beautiful view right now with some of those clouds moving in. We had a red sky. I got some of those photos from East Alabama earlier today. The old saying, red sky at morning, take warning. We did have those storms that moved in, and now we have kind of a red sky there back off to the west. 72 right now as we check out the view from Brookwood Baptist Medical Center, our First Alert Sky Vision. You can find all of our cameras in the Sky Vision network over at WBRC.com. Just check the Sky Vision page. Also available on the First Alert Weather app. So we'll talk about the 7-day forecast again, go through it day by day after the break. Stay with us. You're watching First Alert Weather Extra.
Getting live breaking news and local updates has never been easier. That's because we're on your side with the WBRC streaming app. Need updates between newscasts? You can catch up quick here. And when we're live on TV, we're live here too, giving you more ways to get caught up with everything happening where you live. Plus, exclusive videos from your First Alert weather team. It's easy to use and it's free. Just search WBRC on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. WBRC Fox 6 News is on your side.
You've got enough to worry about every day. That's why the First Alert Weather Team is on your side, so you can plan with confidence and take the worry out of weather. With exclusive First Alert AccuTrack, we pinpoint storms before they arrive. And with Weather Every 6, you are always informed. Alabama's weather changes fast, but we're working even faster, updating and alerting you first. We know your plans are important. This is why we First Alert.
Every morning on Good Day Alabama, we're on your side, trying to get you where you're going safely. First Alert Traffic updates you on slowdowns and gives you alternate routes. Having more reporters covering the roads you drive on gives you even more info to help you know more about why it happened and when it will be cleared. On air, online, and on the app. That's the advantage of having the most reporters on your side. That's the advantage of Good Day Alabama.
I get calls and emails all the time from people wanting to know how cities, counties, and the state are spending their tax dollars. I'm Jennifer Horton, and I investigate how your tax dollars are being used because I don't want your money or mine wasted or fraudulently spent by politicians in power. That's why WBRC Fox 6 News investigates. We're on your side, following the paper trail, asking the tough questions, and giving you the facts. Contact us when you need a team on your side.
All right, so more storms possible tomorrow. First off, in the morning, we won't have storms to start the day. Unlike today, tomorrow morning, you can expect some foggy weather, mild temperatures in the 60s to start off. Could be a couple of isolated showers. Then start watching out after lunchtime. That risk for severe storms, especially in the areas south of I-20, east of Interstate 65. Big concern, damaging wind gusts, some large hail. Could see a tornado. That risk is marginalized. Looks like tomorrow night by 8, 9 o'clock, that all ends as the cool air settles in. You'll need the jacket Thursday morning in the 40s. Some sunshine on Thursday. Friday and Saturday could be mostly cloudy, very chilly days. Highs in the 50s, low 60s, and it looks like overnight lows cold enough to support some frost and perhaps a light freeze this weekend, so a first alert to protect the plants. We start to warm up next week. Could see a couple isolated showers by Tuesday. I think next Wednesday we'll need to watch it for another round of thunderstorms, and that's going to be something else we'll be talking about in the long range. One of the next big things, check the First Alert weather app. Remember, that app works anywhere. If you are traveling, it works all around the globe. You can get those alerts based on where you are. We'll be back tonight, 9, 9:30, and 10, talking more about that risk tomorrow. It's a first alert for possibility of strong storms again. We'll keep you posted on WBRC Fox 6 News.